The Path of Exile 2 new skill gem situation is absolutely wild. The revamped system in PoE 2 completely rids of gem sockets and gear, departing from its progenitor entirely. Instead, it appears we'll be going against all lore warnings and slotting gems directly into our Exiles, then smashing support gems inside those gems. The ramifications of all this lore, mechanical, loot, and beyond are unpredictable. This video focuses primarily on the brand new system, how it will change outfitting our characters, what some of the most valuable loot in the game will be, and as always, excites us all a little bit more about the imminent, in the grand span of time, arrival of Path of Exile 2. What's happening in PoE 2 is quite the shift from the currently outlined skill gem system in Path of Exile 1, which will likely lead to some confusion for veterans returning for the huge launch of PoE 2. Newcomers though, they'll instantly be smitten. Let's get right to it. Presently in Path of Exile 1, here's how the skill gem system works in 3 sentences. Skills and support enhancements to those skills reside in gems that we socket into our gear. The sockets in gear vary in number, color, and number of links, with larger gear pieces containing more possible sockets and links. Due to skill and support gems being so closely linked to our gear, it makes shifting our gems with gear upgrades difficult and at times frustrating. Bid this system a fond farewell come PoE 2. Path of Exile 2 lifts a select few ideas from the old status quo and overhauls the rest. Luckily, unlike a couple shifts between PoE 1 and PoE 2, this is universally praised and seen as a positive. Here's exactly how it works, or, well, how it was going to work as late as 2021. We'll get to how it is actually going to function in a moment. The first overhaul iteration we heard about in 2019 shifted gems in the following ways. Gems would still socket into gear, but each type of gear would have a set number of sockets and a default color set. For example, body armor would always have 4 sockets. Full dexterity body armor would always begin with 4 green sockets. Chromatic orbs could still semi-randomly alter the color of said sockets. These sockets would only hold skill gems, not support gems. Instead, support gems would socket directly into skill gems. All the linking would be done inside the skill gem, so linking of gear would be retired entirely, as would be orbs of fusing. Skill gems would drop pre-linked. We'd be chasing coveted 6 linked gems. Finally, this also meant we could have a suite of 6 links instead of the usual realistic maximum of 2. This changed everything design-wise. However, nearly 4 years after the initial Path of Exile 2 announcement, we discovered grinding gear games had yet again changed how gems would operate. Earlier this year, even I was a tad confuddled. Yes, this situation became even more wild. Presently, gear no longer has sockets. Gear is just gear. Instead, our characters begin with a set number of sockets we may place skill and support gems within. All of this is handled in an independent gem screen. This means when it comes to gem transferring, linking, and coloring, gear no longer matters. That's big. All characters start with 9 skill sockets. We'll find currency items to increase the number of support sockets our gems have. Each upgrade, of course, is rarer than the last. This gradual upgrade scheme means we'll rarely have skills with far more support sockets than other skills. Plus, changing socket colors for gems is now deterministic, not random. While that is the bulk of the overhaul, there are a select few more important aspects we need to discuss. Firstly, skill gems seemingly no longer just drop as skill gems. Instead, they drop as uncut gems. Using an uncut gem, we may choose from any skill gem in the game that is at or below the uncut gems tier. How many tiers uncut gems have is currently unknown, but they seem to operate much like the tiers already present in the gem quest reward system of Path of Exile 1. More complicated and sometimes better skill gems have higher level requirements and are found at higher level areas. This shall not change with uncut gems. They will drop in various tiers, with each tier giving us access to a new assortment of skill gems and all skill gems we could access before that tier. It's vital to remember, although when we use an uncut gem, it takes us to our class's primary set of gems, as seen in this screen for the sorceress, we are not locked to this choice of gems on the gem cutting screen. This is Path of Exile. We can choose and use any gem across any class. Gems are in no way locked to character class. Next up, it's currently unclear if this is how support gems will also work, or if they'll be drop only, sort of like PoE 1's Ruthless mode. We'll find out soon. Plus, support gems are going to build up the attribute requirements of the skill gems they are socketed into. Attributes are about to be far more important. Third, a new type of gem called meta gems will be introduced in Path of Exile 2. This new class of gem allows us to socket skill gems into it. We have one great example, Cast on Shock. This meta gem causes us to cast any socketed skill gems when we shock an enemy. For example, if we socket Summon Wolf into Cast on Shock, when we shock a monster with Lightning Storm, we bring a wolf into battle. Automations on the menu, Exiles. Finally, the gem art looks wildly different, and the lore implications of sticking skill and support gems into our character is insane. Essentially, this is what caused the downfall of a certain faction in PoE 1's story, and caused many people and monsters to go mad. Will that happen in PoE 2? I'm excited to find out, but I know most of us aren't too into the lore, so absolutely all of this being said, how the heck are we going to deck out our Exiles in Path of Exile 2, gem-wise? Well, truthfully, this was probably one of the most vital reasons why Grinding Gear Games chose to split out Path of Exile 2 from PoE 1. The latter was never designed to allow characters to wield numerous 6-linked skills. To carve this into the fabric of PoE 1 would be to entirely redesign almost every skill and item interaction in the game. Imagine all the influenced mods that would need to be altered. In Path of Exile 2, they've decided to go with an evolution of PoE 1, learning from past mistakes and rolling out all the new awesome ideas they've had over the years into a game capable of taking them at full force. In many cases, this means a far more involved and in-depth combat system with richer encounter variety. They are actively encouraging us to acquire a set of skills to use or automate on our Exiles. We'll have a primary attack skill, something for clearing packs. We might have another utilized to stagger a boss or control a huge group of monsters. Then another one that could buff our characters in key situations. Perhaps another that can be used rarely for huge damage. Plus, we'll have passive enhancements, skills like auras, which will not require us to recast them upon death. Also huge. Additionally, support gems are being designed completely differently than in PoE 1. In PoE 2, support gems are not designed to make skills already made to do a certain thing better at said thing. For example, if a skill already shocks, a support gem related to shock shouldn't always be the best in-slot support gem to add to that skill. Instead, a skill that deals pure damage or something along those lines should be able to make a compelling case to use the shock support gem. This, ideally, should lead to an incredible amount of build diversity. On top of this, support gems in PoE 2 aren't going to always be adding damage modifiers like in PoE 1. They're going to instead fundamentally alter the skill they're attached to. Of course, support gems with damage multipliers will still exist, but they won't always be best in slot. Our characters are likely going to be outfitted in a vast array of different skills, as GGG is designing the game and its encounters to require various skills to be used at different times. Now, we'll certainly be able to optimize our way out of using myriad skills. Maybe we'll even get to the ridiculousness of the Fulcrum Chieftain build of PoE 1's Affliction League, but it's not going to be something we're seeing from the outset of PoE 2. Oh, I forgot a key piece of the puzzle as well, actually acquiring the gems. But before we discuss that fully, I would like to ask, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the sub notification bell. More content like it is on the way. Thank you for the consideration, and if you do like the video, the support. Alrighty, let's get back to it. In terms of gear acquisition, gems are going to be a whole new upgrade path in Path of Exile 2 compared to Path of Exile 1. Seriously. Here's the current road in PoE 1. We grab our gems, regular, Val, or transfigured, as soon as possible, level them up to max, ensure they are at maximum quality, and then we double corrupt them if the benefits of doing so are beneficial. Then, if our support gems have awakened versions, we hunt those down. In all cases, those are superior to normal support gems. Unless we're looking for awakened multi-strike support, we can kiss that one goodbye. Once we have all that, congratulations, we're 100% set when it comes to gems in PoE 1. What's the new path to the top in PoE 2, and why does it matter? Well, at least for now, it's going to be much simpler. We find skill gems via uncut gems. We can select any gem we desire. However, the trick is getting a skill gem with the maximum number of sockets so we can achieve 6 linked skills across our entire character. We'll be able to do this deterministically with an undisclosed crafting material. But besides coloring our gems, I don't think there's much else to the hunt, and even coloring is deterministic. Quality increases are not yet confirmed, battle gems are semi-confirmed, but their plans for them are not clear. It's unlikely PoE2 will launch with something similar to Awaken Gems or Transfigure Gems. So, unless support gems are drop only like I suspect, or upgrading skill gem sockets is difficult, it appears decking our characters out with skills in PoE2 will actually be easier than we first thought. When the initial revamp was announced in 2019, we would need to find linked skills. Upgrading them wasn't deterministic. That would have caused skill gems to be incredibly valuable. With that gone, it looks like Triple G is giving more power to us to craft the builds with the skills we would like to use. It's going to be the gear that's tough and interesting to obtain. I think that's good. Getting the skill I would like to use in an easy manner is totally fine, but I can foresee some Exiles completely disagreeing. Overall, the Path of Exile 2 skill gem situation is indeed crazy, but it's obviously a tremendous improvement over PoE 1, and I cannot wait to experience it soon. The Path of Exile team learned a ton while developing PoE 1. However, it seems Blizzard didn't learn anything running Diablo 3 or while researching competitors in preparation for Diablo 4. Here's a video outlining exactly how they could have saved Diablo 4 from doom using the mistakes from the past. Watch it now.